So the first thing that I'm going to use is the Bobbi Brown primer. I got this primer as like a, oh shoot. I got this primer as a gift from Sephora for like, you know, you get your points or whatever. And I picked this out and it smells so good. If you love the smell of mint, you're going to really, really like this. It's like minty vanilla and it goes on your skin cold, and I don't know, it just, I feel like it tightens my face a little bit, so I really love it. So I'm just going to put this all over my face. For summer, I've been really loving the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Water Foundation, and I really like this because it gives you some coverage, but not too over the top. Like, it still lets your freckles and all that good stuff show through, and it's nice and light on your face, so it gives you a really natural look. And I like that it doesn't really clog my pores too much, especially with being in the heat. So I've really been loving it. So I'm just going to push this into my face. I'm using a Sigma F80 brush, which I talked about in my last video that I'm really disappointed that all the bristles been falling out, but I just can't seem to let it go. It's like a love-hate relationship with this brush. So I'm just going to push it in to my skin, get it in my hairline, all that good stuff. And like I said, as you can see already, I hate how these brushes, like the hairs are getting all over my skin. Like, why can't I just not use this and use something else? I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, as you can see, this foundation gives you like a sheer coverage. I don't know. It's really nice. I love it. It's good for summertime. Then I just go over that with a beauty blender to get all the creases out, because sometimes, like, when you put on your foundation, people always ask me, how do you get rid of the lines? And I literally just take a dry beauty blender and just push it all in my skin, getting rid of those little lines, like the smear lines, I guess you could call them. See how you can still see the freckles? So I love that. So if you have brows like me, you can leave them alone. I totally would for my summer look, but I don't have brows, so I'm just going to make this work. So what I like to do for a natural brow is I use a little bit of the Anastasia Dip Brow, and I just put a little bit on to an angle brush. I'm using one by It Cosmetics. You can really use any angle brush that you have. Just make sure it's nice and thin and all the bristles are going the right way. That way it doesn't get all crazy on you. And then I like to start at the angle, like where my brow should have an angle, but it doesn't. Then I just start bringing it down, and I always go in with a really light hand. And when I pat this in to the Anastasia stuff, I barely touch it. So I'm just getting a little bit onto my brush at a time, and then I just start brushing it through. Just because that gives it not so much of a waxy look. If you put too much under your brush, it's going to give you that really waxy, harsh look to where it looks totally, totally fake, which is good for if you want to add Instagram picture or you're going out for the night, but for like an everyday summer type of look where you want it natural, it's not so good. So I just start bringing it like that, and it's going to look a little bit messy, you know, at first, because this wax stuff doesn't really go onto your skin perfect if you don't have brows, obviously. Kind of got to make it up as you go. So I just bring a little bit out to the front to give it some wispies. And then what I like to do is I like to take another angled brush and put a little bit of my foundation onto it. So I'm just kind of like wiping it, you know. And then I'm just going to clean it up to make it a little bit thinner, just because I don't have brows, so I can't really pull off the big beefy brows, which I wish I had them. So I just like clean it up on the ends, make it look nice, not too over the top. So it defines them a little bit and it keeps them looking real. You know what I'm saying? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Fit Me concealer. I'm just going to throw some underneath my eyes, and I really like this concealer because it's nice and bright. It's like drugstore, so it's not too expensive, and it's nice and creamy and smooth, and it feels light. Oh no, I just got some on my white shirt. And it's nice and light on my skin, so I really like that. So I'm just going to pull that down around my nose. I'm going to do a little bit up here, down this nose, up in here. And then I'm going to take some of the LA Girl concealer, And I'm just going to use that as like a bronzer today. Throw it there, throw a little bit here, maybe around my chin, up in here. Almost like I'm contouring, but I'm not, because I'm going to use a lot more bronzer than this because I want to look sun-kissed. Then I'm going to take my Real Techniques stippling brush and I'm just going to blend out. At first I was going to blend. I'm only going to blend the ends of the light concealer. What's with this hand? I'm like, oh, like that. So I'm not going to touch the inside. So we'll get to that. And then I'm going to start blending out the bronzer. So what I'm doing is I'm doing light circle motions, but I'm not really moving it too much. I'm kind of just buffing it out, I'd say. You really just want to keep everything loose looking and natural, and you want everything to blend together. You don't want there to be a harsh line from the light concealer to the dark concealer, of course. That defeats the whole purpose of looking natural, right? We're just going to do the same thing on the other side. I feel like my hand gets tired by the time I do the other side and it never looks as good. Maybe that's just me. So we have all of the bronzer or dark concealer all buffed out. So I'm going to go back in and finish up the light concealer. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a beauty blender and I'm just going to get up in there and I'm just literally pushing that into my skin and I'm just going to throw whatever is extra onto my beauty blender onto my eye. And then I'm just going to use my finger to get into that crease that's hard to touch with the beauty blender. Same thing on the other side. And then whatever you feel like, if you feel like that the light concealer might have moved a little bit too much into the bronze, you can just add more bronzer and kind of blend those two together. I want more bronze, so I don't want my face as light in the middle. So I'm just going to throw a little bit more on because I want to look really sun-kissed. I don't want to look fully contoured, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to throw a little more in. And I love this dark concealer. A lot of people use the Chanel creamy bronzer, and this I feel like works just as good, and it's like $4. And I get it right off Amazon. I don't think they sell it on the Morphe website anymore. So at this point, if you want to look very, I'm looking for the right word, not oily, because who wants to look oily, but if you want to look glowy, you could leave it like this. Or if you want to look a little bit more matte, which is what I prefer, you can add a little bit of bronzer. And I always do, just because in the sun and in the heat, I get a little bit oily, so I don't want to add to that. So I'm just going to tap my Real Techniques brush into some Bobbi Brown bronzer. I'm using such a light hand. As you can see, I'm holding it from the bottom, so I'm using as light as a hand as possible. The more you hold it up here, the heavier hand you're going to have naturally, and you're going to use more product that way, and it's going to look very, very intense. So that means you're going to get more orange, you're going to get more of that gray, all that stuff. So just hold it from the bottom and just pat it onto your skin wherever you want your bronzer to be. And for me, I want it everywhere without looking like I'm from the Jersey Shore. I'm going to put it on my nose. Make sure you get it into your ears too and down into your neck, because you don't want your face and your neck to not blend. They don't have to totally match, you just want it to blend a little bit. Because naturally your neck's going to be a little lighter anyway because it doesn't really hit sun. And then if you want to, you can put a little bit over here underneath. But you don't have to if you want to keep it looking a little bit more glowy, but I'm just going to take a little Fit Me powder. It's kind of light. Maybe it's a little olivey tone. It's natural. It's natural beige. So I'm just going to pat it in here. The reason I didn't use translucent powder is because I don't want it to look like a massive contour. So I just want it to look nice and natural. So I'm just using this to take away the sheen. You can really put this wherever you put that light concealer. So far I feel like I'm looking pretty tan. And again, if you want it to go a little bit darker, which I do, I'm just going to take a little bit more of my bronzer powder. Sometimes my nose catches a little bit more powder, so I just use the stippling brush, kind of wipe some away. And I'm just going to put it all over. I'm just going to go back and throw it back on till I'm happy with how much bronzer that I have on my face. Then I'm going to take my Better Than Sex mascara. And I like this mascara. It's pretty. It doesn't clump up on me. Doesn't look totally fake and give me the spider lashes, which everyone loves the little spider lashes when they're going out for the night, but not day to day. And then I'm going to throw it on this side. Now you can add highlighter to this, you can add blush to this, but this is just me on like a summer day. What I like to do if I'm going out to lunch, I'm going out shopping, I'm going out somewhere where I don't want to look like a hot mess, but it's the middle of the day. Even if I'm going to the beach, but I know I'm only going to be there for like 45 minutes, an hour, I'm going to see people I know, you know what I mean? I wouldn't wear this on the beach for all day because you're definitely going to break out, and not, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this is, I would even wear this to like a summer concert or, you know, oh, of course, duh. So for lipstick, what I would do, because I don't really like to wear mattes when I'm going for like a summery look, I want something that has a little bit of shine to it, look a little sun-kissed. This is Bellini by Dose of Colors. It is really pretty. It's a nude, but it has like pops of pink in it, but it's like champagne-y pink. So this is my get ready with me summer look. This is what I would do if I was going to the beach, for like a quick beach trip, of course, not all day. If I'm going out to lunch, I'm going out to lunch outside, I'm meeting up with friends, I'm going to like a summer concert that's outside, something like that. That's just like natural and outdoors, and you just want to look pretty, you know. So yeah, I wouldn't even do my hair probably. I love that wind-blown look. That's just me though, do you? And so I hope you guys like this video, and if there's anything else you guys want to see, definitely let me know.